So I have to rebuild this whole thing. So I'm just gonna record it real quick, show you how to build a circle in Roblox Studio so that you don't make that mistake. Because that is not a circle. What they did, just as a recap, is they took blocks and they ran around in a circle and they kind of just did their best, but it's not gonna work for what we need. I need a perfect circle for the animations I want to do, because that thing is just getting too frustrating. So we're gonna insert a part. Make sure we're not in like workspace. I gotta open properties real quick. Hang on. Insert part. We're going to change it to a sphere. Gotta find block. Where is the block at? There it is. We're gonna change it to a cylinder. Did I say sphere? Oops. Don't worry about it. Anyway. I do want it to be the same size, so I'm gonna copy this for reference and throw it over here so I can size this real quick, and this is gonna get deleted. So give me something similar in size, because I kind of do want to reuse a lot of lights. So we'll do about that. That looks like a pretty good lid. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I like that. Anyway, let's snap that to the floor. Snap the part works great. Make sure that you're in your model tab up here when you are setting your geometry. Snap the part when you're like putting against the floor is enabled, or else animators will hate you. I'm just kidding. Yeah, snap the part's important. So now what we do is we have this cylinder, we scale it up, and we essentially have to make like an octagon. So we need to insert a part up here. And it's nice when you hover over the part, it shows you like the axis, or like it's like where the lines are here with the white here. So we're gonna take this up here. We're gonna set our movement scale actually. So up here is your movement scale. We're gonna set this to 1 stud. We want all this to line up with a grid. So I'm gonna move this cylinder down here because this is probably off center, and that's gonna put it. I lost the part. Let's make the part just tall for a second. Let's move this to get it on a 1 stud alignment, and then let's move the part on top to get it on a 1 stud alignment. And then we basically just drag the line up to here, and we create our wall. Now that we have our wall, we expand. You can kind of see where the center of this is at with the top as well. So I'm just gonna fix this by hand. I'm just gonna click on this. Unfortunately, it moves that down, but I'm gonna move by 1 stud. I'm gonna go back to rotate. Huh? Was I in rotate? No, I was in scale. I'm gonna go back in scale. I need to move it 1 more stud. You can hold down Alt and click on a part in any model to highlight the part. It helps a lot in Studio. Alt will be your friend, and so will Shift and Control. Like when you hold them, like you can like select multiple items in different ways. Learn the shortcuts in Studio, and it will be a lot faster. So now we want to move that 1 stud. Yeah. We start yapping, and then we forget what we do, and we crash out. Gang. I think this is still a stud off. Believe it or not. This is a 100 stud wide wall. So this is a pretty good reference. I think this is it. Gang, this is it. Yeah, this is perfectly centered when you got this axis here lined up with the line. We're just going to keep it 100 wide because we're going to need it anyway, the extra length. So it doesn't matter that the edges poke out of the sides like the original one does when they dragged it up here. The outside doesn't have to look pretty. Just the inside just has to be smooth. So that's what. Never mind. I need to take a drink of water, so I'm going to pause this for a second. The other problem you're going to want to watch out for before you start cloning this part, make sure it is straight with the cylinder. Like look at it from the top, because sometimes it'll snap to like the wall here and you'll line it up, and when you go to like clone it around, it's just going to be weird. So it's got to be like straight perpendicular here. We got a second one copy here, basically. I think, yeah, we do. I'll show you how to group all this here in just a second, but for first, we're gonna try to move this, and this is gonna help up here. This little tool. I'm gonna set it to 15 degrees. We're gonna do one rotation at 15 degrees, and then we're gonna kind of put it on both sides and try to connect it with the wall at the center here. So it's nice that one stud. You can do two stud if you're having trouble with like your mouse and you have like a really like office tier mouse. So that like not like responding all that well when you're doing all this. We gotta get a little closer. I'm not at a good reference point here. All right, so we're matched with height. I just want to make sure that we're matched with height because that's the most frustrating thing is when you have like slightly different heights on everything, and it's just like, ugh. Anyway, we don't necessarily have enough rotation for this circle. I think we have to. We only have to really build half of this. Is the nice thing. So I'm gonna try to rotate again at another 15 degrees. I hope I didn't screw this up. Another nice thing I think we can do is we can slightly put this inside of the sphere, and it's gonna snap apart, I think, with the 15-degree rotation here. Hang on, let me try this out. Fuck. I think I screwed it up. Wrong axis. Another 15. I don't know if this works or if this circle is just naturally this angle, but I'm pretty sure this is gonna line up perfectly. I'm pretty sure. Oh no. Hang on, here we go. Here we go. Wait. Baby, 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 baby. Oh. Oh, I don't know. It kind of looks jank. We're gonna do this the really easy way. We're just gonna use we're gonna use solid modeling. This is really stupid. So let me show you how to do this with solid modeling. We copy another one, but then we deselect, select, and then Control V to put it right on top. We scale this down using the scale option here. I think we can scale it here. Size. I thought there was a. Oops. I thought there was a scale slider. Anyway, we're gonna scale this with the option here, just a little bit down. Oh, wrong axis. So we're gonna want to definitely make sure we select like amount of studs for this. So we're gonna do 4 studs because I don't want this to like make an uneven circle. So we're gonna do 1 click, 1 click, 1 click. I did 2 there. I screwed it up. We're just gonna undo it and try it one more time from the top. This is the strategy. Go from the top. All right. 514, 510, 510, 508, 412, 408, 408, 404. We just 404'd out, guys. This is gonna be the 404 tunnel. Anyway, now that we have the perfectly downsized tube, we take it, we expand it all the way through, and we have to open another window here. We have to open our Explorer for the first time. So, like I said, your Alt is going to be your friend. If you hold down Alt next to your spacebar on the keyboard and select a model here, it's going to select the part. And if you hold Control while doing that, it's going to select the second part. So we have the 2 parts here. We're going to want to group these as a model first. This is good practice. Call it Tunnel 2. Tunnel 2 Electric Boogaloo. Anyway, so what we want to do is use the Alt key, select the part. We're going to want to negate this part because this is going to cut a hole through the other part here. We're going to want to select both parts with Control. And then click Union up here. Once you click Union, it should cut a huge hole in this. And now we have the lane chamber, and we can just scale this up. Easy.